Alright guys, so first day into trader rehab. So as you can see here, this is my P&L for the day. So we're going to go over to the first stock that we traded, which was BGDX. So BGDX is up on the scanner. I missed this trade. Um, it dipped down right at the open and began to break over VWAP. I missed that trade. I'm still watching this for another curl up. The second leg, it pulls down, I think classic bull flag pattern, and immediately shoots up. I get in with an order of 505, and then so I wait. I don't get in here. I get in right in this candle. I wait till it dips down a little bit, 505, and then pops up to 524, and I immediately sell for about 18 cents. So I'm like, okay, that's a good first trade. And I don't continue trading this. This did have some sort of continuation a little bit towards the end of the morning, but this was the peak. It did squeeze up again right here. It rejected at 550, so I stayed away from that. My next trade, I'm going to admit that one wasn't the best, and I am using 100 shares for this, so that is part of the trader rehab. I'm going to be doing this until I'm green on the month. Right now I'm red. I don't know by how much. Let me see. I didn't get to check that. I think it's 130, which is recoverable. I got the slow pace. Yeah, 137 down on the month. I have to go to recoverable pace. I will take off one guardrail at a time when I'm green on the month, and that guardrail, will be the starting position, 200 shares. Right now, stay at 100 shares. And the next stock I traded was NIVF. So NIVF comes up on the scanner. I wait for a pullback. I take a trade here, immediately squeezes down, shoots back up, and in the average of 228. I try to sell here, couldn't get out, and it sells down here, and I exit out of 213. So I, take a mini loss on that. I'm like, okay, I have to just get out. My whole time on that was actually a minute long, so it wasn't. It should have been shorter. Should have been a lot shorter, but the exit time was a minute long. And something I want to focus to is being quick on my losers. Right now, my losers to my winners hold time is 2-1. So since it's 2-1, I want to reduce the losers. My issue is holding the losers. All my losses have been because I've held for way too long. So I need to condition myself and immediately just getting out. It should be seconds. I don't want minutes. It should be seconds for that loser. My winner should be a bit longer. So I'm like, okay, I'm down $14 on a day. On not $14 on the day, but $14 on the stock. Oh shit! Sorry, excuse me. Anyways, next stock I traded. Oh man, it's kind of shit. It's kind of dusty. I can smell the dust. I think it's my fan. Yeah. Anyways, next stock I traded was MRM. So MRM, I noticed it was a Japanese stock, and typically Japanese stocks aren't the strongest in terms of momentum. They're usually slow, but I was able to take advantage of this current news. They came out 8 a.m. I'm like, okay, let's see what we can do on this. I was being patient and cautious. So I don't take initial trade here. I take my first trade after this first pop. It breaks VWAP pretty strong on high volume, and I get in for an average of my first 100 shares. I only took one position on this, 279. 279 is the top of this candle, almost the top of this candle. And I sell for the pop up to 297, and I get out. So I'm like, okay, it's pretty good. I'll take that. So then I'm like, all right, I'm doing pretty good for the day. And then I see MNTS come up on the scanner. So MNTS, it's always gone up and down. It's never really held. But sometimes it can make pretty strong moves in the beginning. But I've never seen the stock really hold up to a certain level. We'll look on the daily chart now. It's always rejected under $2, under under $2. Sorry, it's never really held anything over $2. Only for like that one day in August. So I don't know. The stock is weird. It's supposed to be a space stock. They got a NASA award. I think I've seen this. 2 NASA contracts. I've seen that type of news on Momentous for a while. It's not the first time I've seen it. And I'm usually, in my times trading the stock, I've done pretty well. But let's see, the first trade I took, I didn't get in the beginning. My first initial trade was on 5:33. So 5:33 in the morning, I'm actually waiting for the scroll back up. So 5:33 right over here. I get in for an average 205, and I'm looking at the bid constantly. I'm noticing that there's more buyers than the ask. Punch another 100 shares, and it squeezes up to 218, and I take my profit off the table. Actually, before that too, I took a loss on Momentous. I just skipped over that. Sorry. So that was my last trade of the day. That's what put me on green, on up $28. But before that, let's see. I think I got in Momentous too high, right here. Yet, so my first trade on Momentous was at 5:32 in the morning with an average of 214. So I see it squeeze up. So 5:32, and I try to take a break on this zip down, and it dips further. I'm like, oh, well, I gotta stop out. I stopped at 199, and she was 214, and I got flushed down. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wait till it starts to scroll back up, and I'm noticing it's scrolling back up on this 920 MA. I'm looking at the bid. I'm like, okay, I think I should have waited for a little bit longer for a better setup. This setup in the beginning was a bit choppy. This I was able to see, okay, this is gonna squeeze up VWAP and squeeze up 216, basically the levels I got in at, and it flushed down before that. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take this next trade on MNTS, and it worked out well. So I noticed it was starting to squeeze up towards VWAP as well. I mean, towards MACD positive. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take that trade. I don't think it's bad. 1 minute chart looked good, so I was like, okay, it's not a bad trade. I was looking at other stocks, ATHE. So ATHE made a really good move. It made a dollar move, but I didn't take that trade. I didn't know it would go up a dollar. It just was, I don't know, something didn't seem right. It would go up, flush down. I'm like, okay, it's curling back up again. What are the odds it's gonna flush down again? It goes up, flushes down again. So I'm like, okay, that's not a good trade. There was also another stock too. There wasn't as much momentum today. It was okay momentum. It was not the best. Let me see if I can find this one stock I was looking at that just was going. It was just bad. It always have flushes every time, and it was a stock I could have traded. I think it was at $2. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, I think it was ANVS. Yeah, ANVS. This seems about right. Yeah, look. So we can see. I was looking at NVS when nothing else was going. Nothing else was presenting itself after my BGDX trade. So it went squeeze up, flushes all the way down, comes up VWAP, but it's on very light volume. Comes up again, flushes again, flushes a third time in a row, and then I'm like, wow, this is not really trustworthy stock. Squeezes up again, but on very light volume, squeezes back down. Again, it does it again, squeezes back down. So ANVS is a stock to watch out for if you guys are trading this in the future. I was like, okay, it's not good. If it's gonna flush down once, it's gonna do it again, and it did that multiple times. So I think today, my first day of trader rehab, was okay. Something I could have done better on. Avoiding the Chinese stock. NIVF always pops up. I thought it was going to be a good opportunity to take the trade, break up to the VWAP. There was more buyers on the bid than the ask, but it wasn't that good. I guess there wasn't enough buyers. I really focus on the level 2 as much as possible. That's going to solidify the buy. And at the end of the day, it's all projected calculation. We're all predicting, okay, this is going to go up based on what we're seeing on our indicators. I really thought we would start to squeeze up from here, but it didn't. And as soon as I started seeing this pattern form and these doji candles, I'm like, okay, it's going to flush down. So that was the one stock I should not have traded. And honestly, I felt okay trading 100 shares. $28 is fine. I have to keep doing this until I'm out of the green. I have to be consistent. If I'm choosing my stocks carefully, I'm gonna be out before I know it, and then I can take off one guardrail at a time. Right now, the biggest guardrail I believe is going to be my share size. Definitely my share size, and then after that, being okay with taking trades with stocks that don't have news but that go up in volume. I missed a trade yesterday on, I think it was ATON. I missed that trade, and it didn't go up. I missed it because I didn't see any news. I was like scared that there was going to be a flush, and I know that can be the news for that stock, but do I really want to risk that? And it was pretty high priced. So that's another thing too. The high priced stocks can be really risky because those can go down $1 to $2 pretty quickly, and that's very it's a very shitty position to be in. I know most of us have been in that, but yeah, October is a little bit rough right now. I remember last October was kind of rough too. Kind of getting memories, but hey, I'm just a beginner. You guys can say, "Oh, keep trading like that. You're gonna go to Wendy's." It's fine. I don't really care. I know what my flaws are. I'm aware of them. I'm trying my best to work on it. It's fun. I want to see myself improve. I want to see myself get over this hurdle as much as possible. I have not added any money to my account. I won't ever, and so unless I get a large sum of money somehow from somewhere, not alone, but if I end up having a lot more money than I realize, then maybe I'll throw it in. But right now, it does not seem wise to throw in money because I'm not proving consistent profitability. You can see on my calendar on a previous month, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't the best. If I was more disciplined, if I had taken my losses very quickly, this would have been a very different story. All it took was 2 days. Guys, 2 days. It doesn't take a whole week, or 3 days actually. Doesn't need to be a whole week or 2 weeks. It can just be one day that flushes your whole count or your most of your progress. So I'm okay with. I'm not okay with the fact that I lost, but I'm okay because I'm okay with the fact that I can see that this is a good thing for me because I can learn from this, and I have to keep learning. We're not gonna be perfect. I'm gonna keep day trading. I like trading the small cap stock. To me, it makes sense. I'm gonna get good at this, and it's a self talk that I need to keep practicing to myself. I've also realized it's not something that I have been doing often. I noticed in August I was very confident. I was telling myself, "You got this. You can do this. You're gonna be really good today. You're going to do fine. Don't stress. Don't trade with emotion." And then I noticed September was a bit more emotional for me. So that there's a difference. Self talk really matters in how you trade and controlling the emotion, and I definitely have seen that firsthand. You can see the contrast between August and September, and October, a little bit, but yeah. Let me know what you guys traded down in the comments. I'm. Who knows how long trader rehab will be? It's gonna take as long as it needs until my losses can reduce by so much. My loss time. I need my loss time, the holding time for that loss to be reduced by a lot. 2 minutes is way too long. It needs to be seconds. And I know I can do it. It's just in here. It's in here it's where it's tough. It needs to be instinctual. And you have my mouse ready, okay, to sell. I need to be ready to look for those indicators. I can't just hope and pray. Because I know we've all done that, we're hoping, but hoping is a recipe for disaster. And, the longer I hold, the more disaster happens. Alright, you guys take care. Thank you so much. We'll see you Friday. And remember, Monday we're going to be live streaming. Next Monday. Take care. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.